Welcome back to another episode of Pole Obsession with me, Felix and Elle. We are here today to talk to you about some business strategies because we feel like we have some things we want to share.
We do have some things we want to share. This was probably, I guess, a little bit more of a serious topic with the pole studios, what's happening within our industry, and I think maybe just fitness in general. But it's not even just fitness in general. I know a lot of business owners of different sorts of businesses, and I think it's across the board. Cost of living is really hard. Business is really hard. I don't actually think, unless you're in AI, it matters what industry you're in. It's been pretty tough the last year or the last 2 years even.
Yeah, I think a lot of things have changed, and we're seeing a lot of not just in pole, but in a lot of wellness industries that like studios are closing. Studios are closing down that have been around for years and years and years and years. And yeah, it's an interesting phenomenon we thought we'd like to talk about.
Yeah. Look, some studios have closed that have been around for almost 20 years. Are we saying around 20 years? Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah, which is incredible that first of all, congrats to them for lasting 20 years, because it's not a lot of businesses that last past the first 12 months.
Yeah.
So, and that's a real statistic. Not a lot of businesses last more than 12 months. So for 20 years, you've done really well. But on the number 20, there is at least 20 studios that we know of that have closed this year in Australia, which is something that we have never seen before. Even over COVID, there were studios closing, but never this many.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we've only seen the growth. Like we've only seen more and more and more studios opening. We've never seen such a big chunk closing down in such a short period. New ones will come, and the odd one here and there might close down, but it's just been a lot in a very short period of time that we thought it was maybe worth talking about.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth talking about. And to those studio owners that have closed for whatever reason, we think you did well. Keeping it alive, keeping it going and opening it in the first place. We know better than a lot of people how hard business is and how hard it is to start a business to start with, and how hard it is to keep going every single year. You give up a lot of time with your friends and family, and you can work 24 hours, 7 days a week running these businesses. So to keep them going for as long as you did, congrats on that, because, that's a big thing too, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And it is I think, most pole dancing studios are born out of the love of the sport. And I think a lot of us, and myself included, I didn't know what I was doing when I opened a studio. I didn't know how to run a business. And I'm still learning a lot. But it's I think you don't really realize how intense and how crazy it's going to get when you first start.
Yeah, no, and how much work is involved in it? There's just so much work. So you're not just teaching when you're opening a studio. You are the teacher, you are the cleaner, you are the manager, you do all the timetables, you build the websites. Most of us build the websites. Most of us have done our own logos. You are marketing, you do all the artwork, you do social media, all the posts, you're the creative, you come up with all the ideas for it. You're a choreographer, you come up with all the dances, you're training the tricks, you're a trainer because you train all your staff. And the list just goes on and on. The accountant.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Then you get your taxes wrong and
yeah, I mean, there's just so many things. So it is a really big deal opening a studio, and there's just so much work to it. But I think it's really important with seeing what's going on in our community and within the pole industry in itself at the moment to think about it more as a business. If you're a studio owner listening to this, I think we need to really turn it into not a hobby, and to keep it running and be successful. You have to be in business, and it is a business. It's not just a fun place to pole, because you can't pay your bills if it's just a fun place to pole. So you've got to be able to make it a business. So I think a lot of things that we've got a lot of ideas. We've both been in business for a really long time now. I know with myself, I pivot a lot if I need to. So if there's a studio not working, the first thing I think about is, okay, so what classes are working? What's going to draw the people in there? What are they looking for? What are the latest trends? Do I need to refurb? Do I need to put some new lights in? What class can I make it fun that will draw people in? So there's lots of different ways. How do I get people in? Are we doing Instagram advertising? Are we doing Facebook advertising? Are we going straight to Google now? Are we all jumping on TikTok? Which is a yes, people, to all of the things. You have to be current. You have to keep going, and you just got to keep swimming. But I think a really smart thing is, if it's not doing well and you wanted to, think about how you can pivot, because I think it's really, really important in business, and we don't talk about it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also, well, sort of carrying on to what you're saying, is that when you're looking at the numbers and you can see, oh, these numbers are not working. And I usually, project maybe 6 months, a year into the future and go, if this trend continues, it's going to be healthy or not healthy for the business. And that's when you need to look at the data and try not to be emotionally involved and not feel like a victim, but just look at it as numbers. And how do you fix the numbers? Like, how do I make sure that this number goes the opposite trend? If it's trending down, how do I make it trend up? And like you're saying, what works, what doesn't work? Talking to the clients, I think, is super valuable. So talking to my current clients, so I know really who I should be marketing to, and what they want as well, and what
Yes.
they. There's a lot of people going into pole dancing, the majority of people going into it, they don't want to be the best pole dancer in the entire world. They're not going to be training to a level that they're going to be elite. They come for a little bit of workout, because maybe they don't like gym, and they come to be part of a community. And so it's important to focus and nurture those, those things, the people that are there and that are already paying to be there. What do they want? What do they get from me? And how can I get more of them?
I talk to all of my students. I think it's really, really important to get to know them as individuals.
Yeah.
There's no way we're going to know why they're coming or what they want if we don't speak to them about it.
Yeah.
So, often I'll say, oh, why did you start pole, and what do you love about it, and where do you want to get with pole? Those 3 simple questions are so valuable and so important. And if it's not you as the studio owner doing it, maybe it's your instructors that are able to do that. Have a quick chat. Because I'll say to my instructors, ask your classes, what is it they want to learn, and find out a little bit about them. Why are they here and where do they want to get to? Do they want to end up competing? Because we can take them down the path as well. Do they just want to come once a week and meet some new friends and try a different activity?
Yeah.
Or do they really want to get good at this because they've started, like you and I, when we started, we're like, oh, this is fun. I actually want to get good at this, and I want to do.
I want to do this. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, next trick.
Yeah. I'm hungry. It's a small investment in them. They're putting their money in you, and you're putting it's a small investment in them. They feel like they're more valuable there because you're interested. You want to get to know them. You want to learn who they are. You want to see how you can serve them better.
Yeah. And I think the other thing, absolutely, it's definitely all about our people, how much we care about them. We want to give them great classes. We want them to always walk away feeling good about themselves. I think as an adult, it is very rare that we will go into a class or do an activity that we walk away and we're like, high five yourself. Do you know what I mean? There's always something in pole that you can feel good about. Even if you've had a bad night, you know what? I got that leg hang for the first time, and I didn't have to bend my legs to get into it. Or I cleared my hand and my outside leg hang. I didn't put my leg over the top of it for the first time. That's really exciting for our students.
Yeah, exactly. That, celebrating the progression, those milestones, and letting them be important.
Yeah, and they are important, and making them feel good about every single time that they've come in, there's something great that they've done and they walk away on a high. I think that's really important, and it's really important to me to make my students know that we appreciate them and they're progressing with us.
And like you say, that that they have a good time when they're there. Like they're not there to, because sometimes I feel like the dancer inside me wants to just drill technique all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
we got to drill technique all the time. But if I did that to my students, like some of them, yes, some of them who want that, they want that from me and I give it to them. But not everybody wants that.
No.
So if I did what I want in my classes all the time, I wouldn't have clients because it's not fun. It's just not fun.
No, no, that's exactly right. One other thing that we really need to mention about pole, and this is what I hear a lot from a lot of different people when I speak to them about pole, they'll be like, it's too hard. How many times
Mm,
have I heard, I don't want to try it. It is too hard. I'm not going to be
I'm
able
not
to do it.
strong enough. I'm not
Yeah, I'm
strong enough. I'm not
not
flexible enough.
flexible. I'm
I
not
don't want to
fit.
try it. Yeah, I'm not fit enough to try pole dancing. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah. But I do think that that comes with a lot of, I guess, the social media and what we put out there. Because if we're always putting out these crazy hard tricks and these insane splits and these big, massive dynamic combos onto our pages, and we're not putting beginner choreo, different bodies and sizes and ages, people are going to think that they can't do it.
They
So
can't, or yeah, they don't belong there. Because if
they
you're
don't
only posting like elite, 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 they can't see themselves in that. They can't
know.
see
And it is
themselves.
too hard. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course
yeah, and
it's
you
too hard
wouldn't. Yeah,
for a
you
person.
definitely wouldn't do that at a beginner's class.
No, that's it. So I think as business owners, it's really important for us to show every aspect of pole
Mm.
from the very beginner who's never even done a fitness class in their life, because that is one of the beautiful things about pole is you can do nothing your entire life, no exercise whatsoever, and you can come in and do a pole class and you fit perfectly in with us.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
there is levels for every single person in pole, and that's such a great thing. There's very, very few sports, studios, or whatever you want to call it, that you can go to that allow no fitness level whatsoever to come in. To if you were an elite gymnast or Australian champion dancer, you can come into us as well and you can do really well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's something that we do have that not many things have.
exactly. And no matter what your background, you can come in for your first class and achieve something. Like you can achieve something, whether it's like just a little turn around the pole, or maybe you're strong enough to do an invert in your first class, but no matter what, this new apparatus, you'll be able to achieve something.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's a really big thing that we sort of need to put out there. I think positivity and social media positivity is
Mm.
very important. I think we have not always been the best at that, and I still see some things on social media that I just shake my head at and do not get involved in.
You mean like sort of I guess trolling and
Yeah, trolling and putting studios down and putting
yeah,
instructors
yeah,
down and putting
yeah,
competitors down. Don't do it. Just
yeah. Because
don't be involved in it. It's
as
not
yeah,
healthy and it doesn't help anyone.
as
It doesn't.
imagine as an outsider, if you're
Mhm.
looking into doing pole dancing and the first exposure that you see is just these negative comments, negativity, pulling each other down, you're probably going to go, that's not for me.
No,
That
exactly right.
everybody loses. If we don't treat each other with kindness and respect, everybody loses.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go into an environment like that. I've said this many times. Like, if I was choosing between Pilates and pole, and I could see Pilates was fun, and that all these girls were in their cute Pilates princess outfits, and then they were, getting their marches afterwards, or pole, and they're all aggressive at each other, and don't go to that studio, or you don't want to be
Yeah.
taught. That's awful. And
Yeah.
that spreads like wildfire. Nobody wants to be part of that.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I
It's
think
not.
that's the thing as well, is it spreads so fast because people love drama. So that stuff
Yeah.
can get further than or has more traction, I guess, than things where there isn't drama.
Yeah, and that's it. And if it is, saying go to this studio, not that studio, who looks bad? The studio's saying it. So don't do it. It's, what? You can get people into your studio by giving great classes, great service, being fantastic instructors, that's how you'll get people into your studio, not by putting other studios
Yeah,
down.
you don't have you don't have to put other studios down to get more students in your classes. I don't think
And
that's
you
the
should, nor should you, yeah.
yeah, nor should like I mean, you know, Nike never puts Adidas down, do they?
Well, no, why would they?
Like, yeah, you know, you're not bothered. You're not bothered. You're just two people doing the same thing in a different way. And I think if you focus more on what you can offer and, you know, how you're different to the other people and not putting them down for being different, but celebrating yourself for being different, focus on what's important to you, focus on, you know, is important to you and what you want your clients to get out that's special to your studio rather than, you know, shitting on other people.
Yeah, exactly right. So when a big takeaway is when your students come in, they come into a very welcoming, encouraging environment. And also for the students listening, that's how we want you to come in. We want you to feel like you're so welcome in all of our studios, and we want you to have fun and have a great workout and walk away thinking, wow, I just did these things I never thought I was capable of doing, or wow, that was a fun class. I got a really good workout from that. I'm really sore from that, but it's a good sore. You know, that's the sort of thing that we want you to feel and put out there.
Yeah, my goal when I'm teaching and instructing and I share this with my instructors is that firstly I want to make sure everybody has a good time. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's my first priority. My second priority is I'll teach you how to do things good. Like I'll teach you how to
Yeah.
do things good. I'm a good teacher. I'm big on technique, so I can teach you how to do things good. But most importantly, I want you to have fun doing it. Because if it's not fun to get to the hard stuff, if it's not fun to do things good, to learn how to do things well, to learn good technique, then you're not going to come back, you know? And why would you? If it's like, if it's the gym again, if it's boring and it's hard work and it's like, most people don't really want to do that type of training. They want to do pole dancing because it is fun. You know, it's a type of workout that you get to do where the workout is secondary to the fun that you're having. And the thing that's most important to me is like fun and play and enjoyment over what hard tricks can we do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, there is a portion of our students that do want the hard, like our elite students and our advanced students, they want the
Yeah,
hard and they'll get that, but they've got to get there first. But if it's not fun when they very first come in, they're never going to want to get to that either. So yeah,
100%. I
it
think
has to.
that definitely can cultivate those people that have the drive to do like elite things. But I don't know about you, but for me, the majority of my clientele are not at the elite level. Like it's like a pyramid, right? I've got mostly beginners, then my intermediate, and then my advanced is the smallest group at the top. You know, I've got my fewest clients are advanced, and my most clients are beginners.
Yeah. So same with us. So we've got like majority beginners, especially in my Melbourne studio. I've got so many beginners, it's not funny. I'm running like 4 beginner classes a week there, and
Yeah,
they're all,
yeah,
which
nice.
is fantastic. And then in our camera studios, one studio is a little bit more advanced, but you know, the other studios, it's very mixed. But we have a tiny amount of advanced to elite compared to a massive amount of beginners to intermediate.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's what we need to cater to the most. The other thing that we do in our studio that works really well for us, and my studio's been going, I don't know, what am I, 14 years or something now.
yeah.
So clearly we're
Congrats.
doing okay. And I don't just have one studio. So we're not too bad. We're doing something right. Is making the choreo for that group, for the beginners to the intermediate, not hard. Why are
Mm,
we making it so hard to the point where they can't do it?
yeah,
They
it
want
has to
to
be
be able to
accessible.
achieve it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So think about your beginner routines. Are they able to do the choreo, let alone the tricks that you've popped in the beginner
Yeah.
routine? So
That's the question I always ask is like, if I've just walked off the street, can I pick this up? Because
mhm.
I believe anybody can dance. I believe anybody can dance. Like you can show someone a step touch, you can show them how to walk around the pole, you can show them how to slide down. Like anybody can, if it's within their level. If you show them like even a pirouette or something like that on the first day, that can be really intimidating because if you've never done one before and you're trying and you can't do it, you tell yourself, I can't do it.
Even a body roll,
A
even
body
a
roll
body.
is so hard. It's so
Yeah.
hard. And to teach a body roll as well is it's really challenging. If you have someone who can't do it, it's like, okay, that's not it again. That was not it again. Because it's really hard. There's a lot of isolations in a body roll. There's a lot of flexibility actually in a body roll.
Yeah. And you have to, I think though, any good instructor can teach it. If you're good and you understand what they're doing with their body and you can see where they're going wrong, you can pick it up and teach them how to do it.
Yeah.
I've never not been able to teach somebody how to do a body roll.
You can break it down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then
Yeah.
it's something as simple as a body roll will make them feel good. I think another thing that we do in our beginners, and maybe this is not for everyone, but it's definitely works for us, is that we give them tricks. They are coming to do pole. They're not just coming to dance. If they were just coming to dance, they'd go to a dance class. They'd go to an urban dance class.
An urban dance. My favorite type.
Your favorite type of dance. but in all seriousness, if they wanted to do dance, they just go to a dance class.
Yeah,
and we have
absolutely.
50 dance classes now with heels. There's heels choreo dance classes that don't use poles.
Yeah.
So they could easily, and a lot of people do that, but they're coming to call it pole because they want to do pole. So we've got to give them a couple of tricks. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't matter if it's a fireman, doesn't matter if it's an angel. You've got to throw some tricks in there. So I think it's really important. I've had a girl this week, actually. I went back to one of my Canberra studios and I taught in Canberra this week, maybe last week. I don't know what week it is. I don't know what state I'm in. But anyway, a couple of days ago. I've literally been in all 3 states and all 3 homes in the last week. So I don't know where I'm waking up these days.
I don't know how you do it.
I know. I'm in Sydney today.
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell by the background.
Sydney Harbour Bridge. This is my backyard, literally.
Me too. Look.
Yeah, that's it. For those listening that don't know what we're talking about, because you can't see the video of it, Felix has got a beach as her background picture, an AI beach.
Like,
Waves everything's happening.
I'm on the beach, literally. But Elle has a real, not screen, not AI. Like, what harbor is this? Some sort of river happening.
Harbour, mate.
It's the Sydney Harbour. I don't know. Maybe it's called a different one. And I can see the bridge there, and I can see the opera house. Yeah. It's clearly Sydney Harbour.
Oh my God.
And there's some yachts there. It's very glam. It's very glam.
It's the fancy. I'm in Elizabeth Bay, so we've got the fancy yachts on the water.
Yeah.
I think we've had is it there? The battleship. Yeah, you can see the battleship too along the low behind as well.
I've got coconut.
You've got palm trees.
Clouds. I got waves.
You've got things happening.
Same,
but different. All right. So back to our talk. One other thing I think is also really important is the way your studio is presented and the cleanliness of your studio.
Oh, yeah.
So I think a lot of studios previously were just in sheds or warehouses and not a lot of love was put into them. I know when I started, I would walk into a studio and I'd be like, oh, this is a bit ick. A little bit ick.
Be a little bit janky, like done. And I get it because it's expensive. It's expensive to put it like nice floors down and walls up and whatever. That's expensive. But it is, I think, important to reinvest in your studio and your space. And, when you do have money coming in, to upgrade so that the experience just keeps getting better for your clients.
Yeah. If your floorboards are lifting and you've got cracks in them and that's going to potentially injure your students, that's bad.
Yeah, you got to make sure that you prioritize safety.
Yeah, safety. Yeah. Let's not put sticky tape on the floor, to mask it.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, no, let's not do that because people are going to get injured and that will fall back on you. And it's also not a nice experience for them to come and do floor work. There might be a floorboard popping out and hurting them sort of thing. So I think about those sorts of things. They can be expensive, like Felix said, but I think you can do little things yourself that are not so expensive. Like Felix and I both do all our own painting.
Yeah, we paint everything. When I was opening her newest studio, I was like, how's the painting going? Because I knew it's a job. It is a job. But you save tens of thousands of dollars doing it yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's little things like you could put some pretty lights that aren't expensive, grab them from Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon. Yeah, we lit our hallway now. You haven't seen it yet, but we lit our hallway with like pretty lights and just like have a nice smell when you come in. So the experience starts like right as you enter. You're in the zone. Like the lights are nice, the music's going. Yeah, I have my studios super dark because I like that clubby vibe. So that's something that's a little bit different that we have that I lean on because it's so we have this different look inside the studios.
Yeah. Yeah, your studios are beautiful inside. So I think it's really important to do that. I think it's important, like just even in the bathrooms, to have nice soap, to have
Yeah.
them clean, to make sure that the toilets are clean, to make sure the basins are clean, to make
Oh,
sure that
even the studios as well, like make sure there's no tumbleweeds of hair and like because that happens every day. You got to vacuum every day pretty much.
you have to vacuum and mop every day. We do that in
Yeah.
all my studios. We vacuum. That's your bare minimum, vacuuming and
Yeah.
mopping every single
Yeah.
day. Dusting is important as well. Like it's really important to clean any sort of glass tops or coffee tables or anything like that that you've got. Like if you think about it yourself, are you walking into a nice clean space, even if you haven't spent a lot of money on the decor because you don't have it, cleanliness has got to be there. That's got to be
Mm.
really, really important. So, and I know that our students appreciate it, and it's not something that's got to cost you a lot of money just to keep it clean. So I think that's super important. And I think it's really important to invest back in. If you do have a little bit of money that you've made from, the studio, and you can put a back in, whether you need to paint, you need to fix some flooring, pop some nice soaps or some nice smelling incense or whatever it is that you want to put into your studio, do it, make it a nice experience. It's not just going in there and doing a class. People are going in for an experience as well.
Mm.
We've got all these other, wellness, fitness places around that are creating experiences. We need to do the same. We
Yeah,
need to have a whole
definitely.
of that same level. I think it's super, super important to do that.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, to have like the area that you walk into being nice, clean, presentable, and to have a great experience when you're there, like right from when you arrive, once you open the door until when you leave, you're feeling good, you're feeling elevated. It's the experience that stays with you. It's not almost the pole workout is secondary. You have to have all of this other like experience focused things primary so that
Yeah.
the client gets the best out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
What would you tell yourself like 15 years ago if you could give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh, look, I tell you what, 15 years ago, and I don't know if how it was for you, but 15 years ago when I opened my first studio, I opened my first studio because I loved poles so much. I didn't love the studio that I was at. I didn't love the studio owner that was at my studio. And I felt like because of that, I was not able to keep going there because she wanted me to do things that I didn't want to do. Basically, she wanted me to go and become a PT and go and do all this. I'm like, why am I being a PT? I'll do a pole course, but I don't want to be a PT. Do you know what I mean? And she just wasn't a nice person. End of story. She just wasn't a nice
Yeah.
person. And I didn't want to be there anymore. And I said to my husband at the time, look, there's no studios in Canberra that I really want to go to. There was only two in Canberra at the time. I had been to both. The other ones were fine and nice, but I didn't feel like I could progress or learn anything from them. So I was driving to Sydney to learn tricks. I was driving
Mhm.
to Queensland to learn stuff. Because you've got to remember that many years ago, it's not like it is now. It was
No.
really difficult to learn anything from anyone, especially in Canberra. So I was traveling to learn stuff. And I just said to him, and I'd already owned the Australian Pole Championships by then. And I said to him, look, I need to open my own studio. I opened a beautiful studio. So you were at my Kingston studio. It was
Yeah,
like
gorgeous.
massive.
Yep.
Yeah, 400 square meters. I had aerials and I had pole, and I really did that studio well. Since then, I've opened incredible studios. Like you have to come and see my Gold Common studio. It's actually next level.
Yeah,
It's
I'd love to.
see it. Yeah, it's a book. Got chandeliers everywhere in that one, and
Ah,
it's
I
super
love it.
fancy.
I love
and
it.
super fancy. And I did open a beautiful studio because I wanted a really nice space even back then. And what I would tell myself differently is because to me back then, because I was at a high level, it was all about lines and technique and getting my students to the next level and pushing them and pushing them. And I didn't really think about the things like making this a beautiful, friendly, safe space. So I was always maybe a little pushy. You can do this sort of thing. But now I look at it and I think, well, not everyone wants to do that, you know. And if I was to go into a class now compared to going into a class 15 years ago, I don't want to be like, oh, do this, do this. Like I've got one pushy instructor. I love her to death. Her name's Joya. Hi, Joya. I love you if you're listening. But she's old school, like, so she's 54 and she's a pushy little one too. She goes, do this, I'll do this. And she's always wanting me to do deadlift press ups. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it, Joy.
I don't wanna.
Yeah. I just want, just let me do a split. But I was like that. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I was like that, and I'm not like that anymore. Now I celebrate every single win. I celebrate the students for who they are and who they want to be within my classes. And I was never like that before. I think I was probably judgy before. You can't do that. You're wrong. You're not going to be a good pole dancer. Now I'm like, no, let me do it with you. I'm a very, very different person and a very different teacher. And I think one other thing which is maybe not talked about, and I mean, not everyone is, but for me, watching my children grow up and being a mum made me look at people differently and treat people differently. Because, you know, if my kids would come home from school and they'd be upset by something a teacher would say, I actually reflected upon that in my own teaching skills, what I would say to people. And I would like, I don't want anyone to feel like that coming out of my classes. So I actually have changed and evolved a lot over the 15 years. And I hope that you all do that in some way. But definitely if I was to tell myself something, it would be not everyone wants to be an elite polar. Celebrate every single win that they do, even if they've pointed their toes for the first time. Tell them they did a good job. I think it's really important to do that. What about you?
For me, it would definitely be to make sure that I know my numbers. Because for a long time I was just winging it, wasn't looking at like any KPIs, any sort of like where coming in, coming out, didn't know. Had no idea. Had no idea how many students I even had. You know, I was just like, oh, if I've got enough money in the bank, that's great. So, so for me, definitely it would be like, you know, learn how to look at your numbers, what your KPIs are, and you know how to measure your churn and your lead flow and everything. All of those sort of like just basic business awareness that I didn't have. That would probably be I'd be like, yeah, learn the numbers. You need to look at the numbers to be able to tell yourself what to do next.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need to know the numbers. I guess that was kind of one thing that I did know, because when I opened it, my husband at the time said to me, you have to be able to pay your rent.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he said to me, how many students do you need to pay your rent? That was the very first thing I calculated. And I went, okay. And then he goes, how many students do you need to pay back what we've put into the business?
Yeah.
Well, I knew that if I had so many students within the first 12 months, I would have paid it off. And then after that, being able to make a profit and then, keep paying my rent without even worrying about it. So I've always known that. In a business perspective, spreadsheet, Excel, no, absolutely not. I just knew I needed so many students to pay my rent. That's all I knew. And I always had it. So thank God I had it. But I think all the other things help you have that.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have one, you can't have the other.
Yeah.
You just can't. So, yeah, definitely please know how much rent you need to pay.
Yeah. Find out how much your rent is, what that breaks down into per student, and doing your taxes and your GST.
Yeah, and get a good accountant. Like I've got a really good
accountant. Yeah. And a bookkeeper. Once you get employees, I've got a bookkeeper as well, because I'm like, I can't do that very well. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, look, I tell you what, I think as a creative, that's a bit of the bane of our existence. There is some studio owners out there that I know love that sort of stuff, but I don't think a lot of us do, because we're probably a little bit more creative than we are great with the books.
I can't
So
do the books. That was the first thing as soon as I could, I handed that off because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. It
yeah.
stressed me out. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, I just hate looking at it. I hate data
Yeah.
entry. I hate doing all of that sort of stuff. You have to do it. You've got no choice. You need to,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
you
I
need to
think
understand it though.
I
I'll
think
tell
you
you.
need to understand it. Yeah, it's good to have to do it at the beginning because then you understand it.
Yeah, exactly right. And like, even if you've got a bookkeeper and even if you've got an accountant, you need to know your business. You need to know where your money's going. You need to know where it has to go. And you need to absolutely understand it. Because if you don't understand it, you're in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So that's our little business advice for today. Alex and I are pretty good with being there for whoever we can be. And, and if there is something that you really want to reach out and ask us, please do.
Yeah,
Our Insta's open. Just reach out to us on the Whole Obsession podcast. We both have access to that and we can both see those messages that come
yeah,
through. And we're happy to have a chat with you or bring it onto the podcast and have a talk about it. But we're definitely there for you. We support all the pole community and we want everyone who's coming into our studios to love it. And we want everyone who's running studios to not feel overwhelmed and not feel like you're on your own. You're not on your own.
yeah.
If there's anything that we can do to help, we're here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. And like Elle said, if you have any questions at all or need any support, we're here for you.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.